We are talking about parenting is much more than myself. It's more about the next generation. And I
Yeah.
believe if our leaders focus more about the next generation than themselves, Nigeria will be better than where we are presently. Let's look at our founding fathers, the like of Nnamdi Azikiwe, the likes of Obafemi Awolowo, the like of the Sadana, the Sultana of Sokoto, and you see the things they do, you see the achievements, you see many structures they've put in place. They were not thinking about themselves; they were thinking about the next generation. They were not only thinking about their boss. Yes, I'm not saying we should not do things for ourselves to create wealth, but let's think about the next generation. When you check many of these federal universities, you find out that the structures that let's take Obafemi Awolowo University for example. When you check some of the lecture theaters, you find out that as at the time they built those lecture theaters, the students that were in those lecture theaters, at times they may not even fill the entire classroom, but they have foresight for the next generation. They have dreams for the next. They don't want the next generation to be as they are. They want them to be better. So what happened? Our fathers came to a better Nigeria. But it's unfortunate that what we are seeing is not what they experienced.
Not even what they envisioned.
No, no,
Because
no.
they saw, no, it's quite funny. That's
It's
why these days people actually have seen inheritance as just me.
no. That's
Inheritance is transgenerational.
exactly that's the word.
So it's not just you, it's not all about you.
No.
After you, what comes next?
Next.
We should be bothered about what comes next because we are already here. We're already here. We need to create an environment where we can turn our back and say these people are good to go.
Exactly.
But today we're not even sure.
Exactly.
We're not even sure. The next generation, how will it turn out? People are even scared of the next generation already because they don't know what's going to happen. So we really need to go back to look into our core values. What made our forefathers who they really are? They envisioned what we met. But what are we seeing? Are we seeing the future the way it ought to be, the way it should be? So it's actually very, very depressing. But I know we will get it right.
Thank God, Christ.
It's a matter of time. We will sure get it right. We shall get it right. We shall get it right. Barrister Ife Aderoba.
It's
On a final note, what do you think our parents should go back to? What do you think our parents need to do to get it right?
okay.
Some are getting it right in some aspects, while we are missing it in some aspects. So how do we reconcile it?
Thanks a lot for bringing this. As you share this question, I just remembered something. In the yesteryears, one of the things that our fathers do is what is called moon night tales. They call the children under the moon and they stay maybe under the tree and they tell them stories. They bring morals into stories. Stories, maybe story of animals, tortoise, and the rest. And they bring songs into it. And the children sing those songs and they learn those stories. And after the parents ask them questions on the stories, especially to let them get the lessons. And we find out that children who were raised in those days were people who were built with morals. They grew up with morals. They had great morals because that's what they were taught. I would advise that one of the things and key principle of training, not only teaching children, is tell the children your stories. You can pick one of the stories, one of the things you did. Tell them your storyline. How did you establish this business? How did it grow to become what it is? What are the challenges you faced? As you are sharing those stories, the children will be listening. But one of the things children like, Children like stories. They like songs. So when you tell them those stories, they will listen attentively. And then after listening attentively, now pick the lessons from the stories. And then ask them some questions. I tell you, they won't forget what you just taught them. Parents should take time to teach the children their stories and the stories of the greats. They will perpetrate that which you've taught them. Apart from that, one of the ways in which you can make them to also get from the greats is give them the books of the greats. Biographies, autobiographies, stories of great men. Let them read it, especially when you notice the passion of the child. When you see this child is a person who is good with craft and the rest, look for stories of maybe Michelangelo and the rest, people who are artistic and the rest. Get it for them. You find that this child is more likes to couple things and serving as acting like the engineer in the house. Get books for him. Stories of people like Michael Faraday, Isaac Newton. One of the things my dad did for us, he had a library at home. And it's from, even though I was an art student, I read a biography of Michael Faraday. So I knew at least some things about electricity. And I knew the values of those things. So parents should take time to give those children those books. There are books for each kidder. You can get storybooks about those things you want them to know. There has picture for children in the small class. In primary school, look for other books that maybe just one picture. At least secondary school, maybe a small book without picture, but that will teach them those things. Books of Ben Carson are handy. And it teaches those principles live for everybody to learn. So when parents know those things, like you just mentioned the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. When you want your child to be good in business, get him that book. The Richest Man in Babylon, give it to him. Maybe, okay, you plan, okay, you strategize. This month, I want to teach my child about finance. Get him those two books. Ask him to go and read it. And then begin to bring stories around, because you yourself have to be a reader. You want to train, when you tell you about before, you can't give what you don't have. Nemo that not none abet. You cannot give what you don't have. So you yourself build yourself, and then, oh, my child, read this book, read these two books. I was how do I call it? I was watching a clip of Bishop Oyedepo, and he just did his 70th birthday recently, and it was sharing, not in the birthday though, but it was sharing in that clip that when his children are going to college, he get them 3 books. He's a ministry man. Books by Kenneth Hagin and a book by him. He said, go and read these books. Go and channel your parts. Are you getting? So apart from teaching them physically, bring people to them. You can ask them to watch YouTube video. Thank God for these days of YouTube videos. There are young people who come to my house, and when they come to my house, one of the things I do, apart from speaking to them, look at these videos I download. Watch it. And when they watch it, they listen to great minds. Their mindset is what is changed, is transformed. Let them watch those things. Get them books along the line with their passion. That I did make mention that parents should be careful not to force their own passion on the children. Your passion might not be your child's passion. If you try to force your passion on it, you will crush that child. He won't even want to move ahead. But locate that child's passion and train him along with those passion. Get him the values that he needs. Books, stories, and along those lines that will make him great. And I will tell you, that child will look back and say, thank you, my mommy. Apart from morality, there's this scripture that says, train up a child in the way he should go. And when he's old, he will not depart from it. Yeah. When you train, and that training of a child in the way he should go is not just about maybe religiosity. It's about the pathway for his life. What makes him? You see a person who likes how will I call it, to be a nurse and the rest, and you are forcing the person to be an engineer. It won't work. Train him in the passion. Bring things along those passion. He will love it.
Look at our footballers now.
Exactly.
They are catching them young. There are
That's
football academies all over the world. You just if your child has passion for football, send
send
your
them
child there.
there.
Don't say I want to be a medical doctor.
No, it's not compulsory. Just try and train them along other values of life so that they won't sway away. But let them know what they want to get. I tell you, when you tell them, when you begin to bring, it's even one of the things in which parents can do to help themselves with their children. There are things you want your child to do but doesn't want to do. Train, how will I call it, put those assignments or those tasks in line with what he has passion for. You'll find out that he will do it. Your child says, I want to go and play football. Okay, you want to play football? Okay, no problem. You will play football. But do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you go and play. I tell you sincerely, that child within in the speed of light will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before playing football. It's the secret of the carrots. And parents also need this to train the children in the way. But when you remove the passion of the child, you remove the drive of the child. He cannot learn whatever you want to teach him. Every parent must locate the passion of the child, and every child is different. And I want to tell you, no child is a non-entity, and no child is useless. In that child is a king. In that child is greatness. It depends on what you are looking at. If you are looking for who you are in that child, you might not find it. That child might not be the best student in the class. Most of our footballers are not the best in their class. I mean, the rich footballers today, but they are making it. They are successful. So look for the passion of the child. There is a gift in that child. That gift is what will make him great. And in that gift, you see his passion along those gifts. When you see those passion, don't curtail and don't cut those passion. You can guide those passion. It's just like fire. You use fire to cook, you use fire for everything. But there's a way you can guide fire when you are cooking so that it's not excessive. Yeah. You can try to make it not excessive, to guide it so that excesses are drawn away. You know that most people who are into sport and the rest, at times they are not serious, but there's a way you can train them. Okay, I want you to be serious with your academics, inculcate that, because when you are serious with your academics, you become great in life, and just knows it and moves on. So I'm using this example. Look at like of Davido and his father. Now, at first, his father wanted him to go into business and the rest and all, but he said he wants music. But at a point, his father, okay, no problem, I will let you study music, or I will let you go fully into music. That's if you go to school. And sincerely, gladly did what? He went to school. At least let me get the certificate. Since you would want me to thrive with my music, don't take music away from me. Don't let's take away the gift of our child. Don't let's take away the passion of our children. Rather, let's train them along those lines. You see some children, you talk, instead of saying, you used to talk too much. In Yoruba. No. And that person could be someone who is a journalist. So don't tag those gifts as with negative names. Yes, you might not like them because probably they are not fitting to you as a person, or maybe because the child is a child full of activity. You're always stubborn. The child might not be stubborn. It could be a drive, a passion to get things done. And when you see those people later on, you see that they are achievers. But you always want your children always to be gentle. Always, yes, their children will be gentle, quiet, cool, and calm. I tell you sincerely, but not all child will be quiet, cool, and calm. I'm not saying that when they go in excess, you don't train them, you don't curtail their excesses, but don't cut away their passion. Many people are a shadow of themselves because they're not given the grace and the privilege to express what's inside of them. There are people who can talk, who have boldness and courage to speak. I'm not only talking about to parents, I'm also talking to teachers and lecturers. What the Lord is giving unto you, the Lord is giving destinies to you. I remember when I was in was in SS1 or SS2. As an art student, we've been teaching us about poems and the rest, and I took my time to basically write a poem. Up to now, I still write poems and the rest. And with such passion, I took it to my literature teacher and showed, look at this poem, and look at the way he just sidelined. What kind of poem is this? It's watered me down. Whereas it's a passion. Assuming, yes, I may not be as perfect as he is, but even, oh, this is good, this is lovely, keep it on. There will be a greater drive in me. And there are many Wole Soyinkas now that those passions had been killed because people are not encouraging their gifts or their passion. So one of the things about parents, locate the passion of your child. Look at those things that interest that child. Sincerely, everybody have what interests us.
So
Even adults. There are people who like football. There are people who don't like football. When you say, oh, always what you do, please. Look for the passion of the child. Train him according to those passions. Inculcate the values of greatness in those passions. And you'll be surprised the extent to which the child will go. Look at the father of Davido now. I'm sure he's glad that he's a proud father. Because his child is perpetrating his wealth. Yeah, maybe not in the business like he did, but in the music world. And anytime they mention him, they will mention his father. And the father will mention the child. And they are good to go. Why? Because the child located his passion and followed it. Parents, don't kill the passion of your children. Don't say because I was a science student, because I finished from the science, I want my child to go to the science class. Many destinies have been destroyed by that mismanagement. A person who does not have grace for chemistry, physics, that you push to the science classes. No wonder a person who is doing well in the junior secondary school, by the time he gets to SS2, he can't even find his bearing because you've missed it at a point. So parents should find the passion of their children and raise them in line with their passion. You will find out that one of your children likes to cook. Wow. There's an opportunity to train that child up in culinary practices. You can ask out, maybe one of the holidays, go and learn more about these things. Who knows, maybe the next Captain Cook, the next Mr. Biggs, the next Chicken Republic could come from that child. Exactly, next KFC. The next McDonald's. Why? Because you've located that passion. And the child, and something about passion, a child will be happy with his passion. When you give that child that passion, he will love it. When you give him information about that passion, he will devour it.
yes.
Many people won't read their books because they don't find the passion in that book. They just find it as black and white. They can't see a drive. They are just pushing themselves. So they are not achieving. But when you put a child in the place of his passion, oh my, you just see him glow. And parents should not make the mistake, which most parents make. They feel like once you are not topping your class, you are good for nothing. No. That child is a jewel. There's something in that child that will make even your name great. Yes, you might be greatness in himself, but there's something in that child that will do what? That will make your name great. I just mentioned the example of Davido now. His father, how do I call it? His father is wealthy in business. Maybe not a musician, but he has music and is doing greatness in music. So please, let's look at the passion of our children and train them in the line and also encourage them. Maybe you find out that one of your children loves craft and the rest. You can do that. Get him artistic tools, boards and the rest. Look for means to encourage him. You can even take him to exhibitions. And when he goes there and people see it and he sells it, he gets the money, he will be happy. And he will go more to achieve more. And then anytime always remember, thank you, my dad. Life is not all about money. There are people who won't be that wealthy, let me put it that way, but they will be good and how will I call it? They will feel fulfilled. Fulfillment does not come with money. Fulfillment comes with achieving and fulfilling your passion. Yeah. That your gifts is finding expression. When you see your gift finding expression, and you see that your gift is you see yourself fulfilling your passion, you are fulfilled. Many people are not fulfilled because they are not where their gifts and their graces lie. So they are a shadow of themselves. And this is because many parents has misguided them. So please, parents, locate the passion of your child, train them along those passions, and inculcate other values that will make them become great. You can study more about people who are great, read biographies about them, know those values. We mentioned diligence, hard work, excellence, integrity, among some others. Financial prudence, yeah, and others. Entrepreneurship. You can even still be working with someone and still be an entrepreneur. So these are things in which you need to inculcate in your child. If a child will be self-sustaining, even while working with someone, he has to have an entrepreneur's mindset. So these are things you need to inculcate in your child together with the passion. When you do those things for your child, you've given your child your inheritance. Your inheritance is not only your business. Your inheritance is those principles that make your business work. Those principles that make you who you are. Those mistakes that you've made corrections, or those mistakes that you've made that you're unable to make correction, but you can tell your children to avoid those pitfalls. Those are your inheritance to your child. And I tell you, even when you are gone, even if you give them for those physical things, those wealth, they'll just be as a supporting aid to them. That won't be the core. That's not the core. That's not the primary. It's secondary, even probably tertiary. Because in this economy that we are in Nigeria, things are falling, things are crashing. So businesses are dying down. But if you give them those values, they can take those values into another business and it will thrive. So please, parents, I beseech us by the mercy of God. Even though this is not what we've majorly discussed since, but please locate the gift of your child. Locate the passion of your child. Train him along with those passions. Don't silence those passions. Don't cut those passions off. And then when you see your child become great, you will be happy and fulfilled, even when you sleep. I think I've been able to summarize and all. I'm so grateful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
so much. You have really hit the forward button. It was nice. It was nice.
Thank you, sir.
Barrister Ifeoluwa Aderoba, want to sincerely appreciate your coming. You always answer us whenever we call, and we are very grateful having you around. Once again, thank you so much
I'm so
for
grateful,
honoring
sir.
our invitation on Cruise Vibe. God
Thanks
bless
a
you,
lot,
sir.
Amen, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of this particular episode of Inheritance. We want to sincerely thank you for your comments, for your like, for your share. And if you have not followed us, if you have not subscribed, kindly do so. We love you. Stay blessed. I remain your host, Agbi Osai Bobo.